We are going to be learning now about the Power BI desktop interface. The first time you open the Power BI desktop, this is the screen you are going to be having. And you can close this green screen. Now, this is the Power BI desktop. This screen you are seeing right now is what we call the Power BI canvas. There are three views in Power BI. We have the report view, which is the first one, and we have the table view, and we have the model view. In the report view, this is the view that you are going to be using to build your visualization. You are going to be using to build your reports. And we can call it the canvas also. Now we can also have the data view. This data view is where you see your data. A snapshot of your data. If you have millions of rows, you won't be able to see everything. But this is where you see your data. Once we are able to import our data, we are going to be seeing our data from the data view. Now we also have the model view. The model view is such that when you have different tables and you want to connect them together, in terms of what we call data modeling, that is where you build the relationships between one table and another table. Okay, let's go back to our report view. Now we also have what we call the ribbon. This is the ribbon. The ribbon has the home tab, the insert tab, the modeling tab, the view tab, optimize, help, and we also have file. On that file, you can do new. You can open the desktop window, you can save your report, you can save as, you can share, you can import, export, publish, options and settings, getting started. Let's go back to our home view. View houses some of the most common things you are going to be using. You can find many of the things in view elsewhere in some other places in the Power BI desktop. In the home view, we have the data group, we have the queries group, we have the insert group, we have the calculations group, we have the sensitivity group and the share group. Under the data view, this group is how you will be importing your data into Power BI or how you are going to be connecting to your data. It is interesting to note that the Power BI desktop allows you to connect to more than 100 sources. Now let us have a sneak view of that. When we come to get data here, we can see the common data sources. We have Excel workbook, we have Power BI datasets, we have the data flow, the data vars, the SQL server, the analysis services, the text or CSV, we have the web, we have all data feed, we have blank query, template apps. Okay, and we can also click on more to see everything that we have. We can see now that these are all our data sources and we have the different groups of the data sources. In this series, you are going to be seeing more about how to import some of these common data sources. You can also connect to a PDF file. Maybe you have some data in a PDF file. Let our attention that sometimes Excel, CSV, XML, JSON, folder, PDF, they are not the ideal way to store data. They are not databases themselves. But sometimes you have your data in those places and you need to do some analysis in Power BI. You can connect to them using these file sources. It doesn't mean that that is the best, or it doesn't mean that is the best practice, but sometimes you just have your data there and you need to do your reports, you need to do your analysis. The ideal places to store your data is in the database. We have several databases that Power BI connects to. Sometimes some of these databases, you can download files from them and save them as Excel or CSV file. But I just need to let you know that Excel should ideally not be used as a database. Before you download as an Excel or CSV file, you need to check whether your database, where your data is, whether it has a connector with Power BI. Let's leave that for now and let's cancel. Now we have the query group. When you click on transform data, it takes you to the Power Query. It takes you to Power Query. The Power Query is where you are going to be doing your ETL task, which is extract, transform, and load. That is where you are going to be doing your ETL task. Let us minimize the Power Query window and we have your insert group, which is where you have your new visual, the text bars, and the more visuals. That is that about the Home tab. Let us go to the Insert tab. Insert tab has things you want to use to enrich your reports. When you want to build your reports, what are those things that you use? You use visuals. You use AI visuals also. We have paginated reports. These are the Power Platform groups, which you can use Power Automate inside Power BI. You can use Power Apps inside Power BI. And when you want a high quality report, you can use paginated reports for this. And we also have the text bars, the buttons, the shapes, and the images. These are elements, and we have the sparklines. Under the modeling tab, you can see some are blanked out there because we don't have any data and we don't have any model for now. That is why you cannot do anything with new measure or quick measure. You can't do those things because we don't have data yet in our Power BI desktop. We have the view, we have the optimize, and we have help. Under this help, when you come to about, we can see the version of our Power BI, which is November 2023. Okay, and we can close this. You can also go to the Power BI blog, the Microsoft Power BI community. You can connect with Power BI for developers. When you want to do some developer tasks, you can do that with Power BI for developers. And we have submit an idea. As a Power BI data analyst, a Power BI developer, you are working with Power BI, you think something should be improved. The submit an idea button allows you to do that. When you submit an idea, Microsoft's developer team can know about it. When they know about it, they can implement some of these your ideas. And other Power BI developers in the world can also see your idea and say, oh, this is a nice idea. And they can do what? They can vote your idea to get the attention of Microsoft. And we can also see some examples of Power BI reports. And this is just an introduction of what we have on the ribbon. Now, we have the filter pane, the visualization pane, and the data pane. The data pane allows you to see the columns and the table names of your data. And we have the visualization pane, which allows you to see all the possible visuals you can use to build your reports in Power BI. Okay. And you can also get more visuals, which are visuals that are not by default in Power BI. Some of them were developed by Power BI developers. They were uploaded to the Power BI Visual Store. This is where they worked on a particular visual and they uploaded for that to download in their reports. We are going to be doing that soon or later in the series of videos that we are going to be having. And we have the filter pane, we have the visualization pane, and we have the data pane. You can collapse or expand them. You can create more report pages in Power BI, and you can also delete and you can hide your reports if you want. These are some of the things you can do in Power BI desktop. Also, because you are working on a desktop, this is the desktop view of our reports that you are going to be seeing. If you want to see how your report is going to look like in a mobile device, just click on this and you are going to be seeing the mobile layout of the report. When you go back to your desktop view, you come to Home or on View, you can also click on Mobile Layouts and you're also going to be able to see the mobile layout of your report. If you want to go back to the desktop view, you can click on the mobile layout on Select or you do it from here. So those are the two places you can do it. If you want to have grid lines in your report, you can have access to grid lines. And some introduction, we have some different Power BI themes that you can choose from also. And the background, you can see that the background that we have here is white. So you can also change the size of your reports, of the canvas. You can change the size, you can change the background color. And I'm going to be showing us how to do that. You just need to come to under visualization pane and you come to format your report page. And you can see now that we have page information. We have canvas settings. You can change the size to letter, for example. You can see. And we can change to tooltip. You can change to custom. You can specify the size you have or you want. These are some of the sizes you can use. And you can also change the background. We can change the background of our reports. And I can change to any other color that I want. The transparency is used to adjust that. So if you are not using white, you may need to change the transparency to 0% so that you see the background color. And you can also import a particular background as maybe a JPEG file or any picture format file. Most picture format file, you can import it as a background setting that you want. And there's a difference between the canvas background and the wallpaper. If I change my wallpaper to this color now, you can see now this is the wallpaper and this is the canvas background. So there's a difference between both of them. And we have the filter pane. These are some of the things that are important for now. We can learn more about some of these things in some other part of the video. Okay, what I want to show us now is under this page view. You know, we have fit to page and fit to width and actual size. There is difference between these three. For example, what I'm trying to say is, if I'm using a custom page size, for example, and I have custom, this is my height and this is my width. If I change it to fit to width, you can see now it's going to say that it wants to fit it to the actual width. But if I increase this 128 to 1400, for example, and I increase this to 1000, the implication now is because I'm fitting to width, it's going to say that, okay, it's trying to look at what is the actual size that you are setting over here is what it's trying to make sure that's the length. And by using fit to width, you are going to be scrolling. If you don't want to scroll, you can just change your report to fit to page, and we have actual size. I prefer to use fit to page every time so that at a glance I know how my report looks like. And we can also return this to system 9, and I'm going to change it to fit to page. Okay, that is just a brief explanation of some of these things in the report view. Again, I've shown us about the grid line, so which you cannot see well now, but we are going to be talking more about that in some other sections of the video. Now we want to learn how to import some common data into Power BI